You're not losing because of the market. You're losing because of this. It's not volatility. It's not manipulation. It's not bad luck. And deep down, you already know it. Every losing trader has a story. The market makers hunted my stop. The news ruined my setup. It was just unlucky timing. Smart money is against retail. But profitable traders operate in the same market. Same charts, same volatility, same news, same sessions, same liquidity. So what's the difference? It's not information. It's not access. It's control. Most traders don't lose because they don't know enough. They lose because they can't control themselves long enough to let their edge play out. You don't break your rules because you're stupid. You break them because you're emotional. You enter early because you're afraid of missing out. You exit early because you're afraid of losing profit. You move stop losses because you're afraid of being wrong. You add to losers because you're afraid to accept a loss. Fear doesn't look dramatic. It looks logical. That's the dangerous part. You tell yourself you're being flexible. You tell yourself you're adapting. You tell yourself the market changed. But what really changed was your emotional state, and you made a decision from that state. The market didn't force you to overtrade. The market didn't force you to revenge trade. The market didn't force you to risk more than usual after a loss. You did. And until you accept that, nothing changes. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most traders don't have a strategy problem. They have a discipline problem. If I asked you right now, do you have a trading plan? You would probably say yes. If I asked you, do you follow it exactly every single time? That answer would be different. Consistency is what separates amateurs from professionals. Not brilliance, not prediction skills. Consistency. AI doesn't predict the market with emotions. It executes parameters. It follows rules. It doesn't get bored. It doesn't try to win back losses. It doesn't feel the need to prove anything. That's why AI has an advantage. Not because it's smarter, but because it's consistent. And consistency compounds. A small edge, applied consistently over hundreds of trades, becomes powerful. A good strategy applied inconsistently becomes useless. You can have a profitable system, but if you only follow it when you feel good, it will never work. You sabotage your own edge. And then you blame the market. Let's go deeper. Why do most traders really lose? Because trading exposes your weaknesses. If you struggle with patience in real life, you'll struggle with patience in trading. If you struggle with discipline in real life, you'll struggle with discipline in trading. If you avoid responsibility in real life, you'll blame the market in trading. The charts don't create your flaws. They reveal them. And that's uncomfortable, because it's easier to say, the market is manipulated, than to say, I broke my rules again. The market doesn't care about your ego. It doesn't care about your last loss. It doesn't care that you need this trade to work. It only responds to probability and liquidity. And probability requires repetition. You can't judge a strategy after 5 trades. You can't judge yourself after one bad day. But most traders do. They switch strategies every month. They jump from indicator to indicator. They chase the next secret, because deep down, they don't want to face the real issue. The issue is emotional instability under uncertainty. Trading is uncertainty. If you can't operate calmly in uncertainty, you will suffer. That's not an insult. It's reality. When you take a trade, you are accepting risk. But most traders don't truly accept it. They say they do. But emotionally, they don't. That's why they panic when price moves against them. That's why they close early. That's why they hesitate on valid setups. You don't need more confidence. You need emotional neutrality. Confidence can turn into arrogance. Fear turns into hesitation. Greed turns into overexposure. Neutrality turns into consistency. And consistency builds accounts. Let me ask you something simple. If you recorded your last 30 trades, how many followed your rules perfectly? Not almost. Not mostly. Perfectly. Be honest. Most traders wouldn't even want to see that data. Because it would expose them. AI would follow the rules 100% of the time. No excuses. No emotional adjustments. Just execution. And that's why the future of trading belongs to disciplined operators, not emotional gamblers. You don't need to compete with AI. You need to stop competing with your own impulses. You don't need a new indicator. You need structure. You don't need motivation. You need repetition. You don't need hype. You need control. The market is not your enemy. Volatility is not your enemy. Even AI is not your enemy. Your lack of discipline is. And the longer you avoid that truth, the longer you stay stuck. Most traders want freedom, but they refuse the structure required to earn it. Freedom in trading comes from rules. It comes from risk management. It comes from predefined exits. It comes from accepting losses calmly. If you can't handle small losses, you will eventually face a large one. That's how it works. There is no shortcut around emotional maturity. The market amplifies who you are. If you are impulsive, it punishes you. If you are patient, it rewards you. If you are reactive, it drains you. If you are systematic, it grows you. You're not losing because the market is unfair. You're losing because your behavior is inconsistent. And inconsistency kills edges. You might think this is harsh, but it's empowering. Because if the problem is you, then the solution is also you. You can't control the market, but you can control your risk per trade, your entry criteria, your exit rules, your reactions. That's power. And once you take full responsibility, everything shifts. You stop complaining, you start refining, you start tracking, you stop searching for magic, you start building discipline. AI will not replace disciplined traders, but it will destroy emotional ones, because the market of the future will reward efficiency, speed, consistency, data-driven execution, and punish impulsiveness. If you want to survive this decade in trading, stop asking, how can I beat the market? Start asking, how can I control myself? That question changes everything. You're not losing because of the market. You're losing because you haven't mastered your behavior under pressure. Fix that, and the market starts to look very different. The edge was never missing. The discipline was. And now the real question is simple. Will you keep blaming the market, or will you finally take control?